So you're underwater with the dragon at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is you probably would be able to swim towards it and attack it on your next turn if you want. The bad news is you're underwater with the dragon.
No, he can't, because he's still feared.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kelian, what's up?
Saving the die for the fear roll.
I'm still afraid, so I don't think there's anything to do except try to get this fear off me.
Okay.
Or the breath weapon, because honestly, that will just melt me at this point.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, I think he is able to move toward the dragon as long as he can't see it?
She's saying close my eyes.
No, but I'm saying if the dragon went back over the wall and Kelian's in the garden, I don't think Kelian still has...
No, Kelian's not restricted where he can move because he can't see the source of the fear anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I thought you were asking about Serenity. I'm like, yeah, Serenity can see it. It's right there.
No, yeah. I meant Kelian.
Cool try.
All right, then I will move towards where the dragon splashed down, back towards it until I see it again and go, ooh, can't do that.
So you're going to run out.
But,
now, are you making an attempt to stay away from Riot and Midniegg, who are also standing at the ledge?
yes.
Okay. So Riot's off to one side, Midniegg's off to the other, so you will be kind of in the middle to where the bridge used to connect. Do I have that about right?
Yes.
Okay. You can make an attack at disadvantage if you want.
Well, yeah, right. I might as well, right? Maybe I'll get 220s. Ooh, wouldn't that be fun?
That would be incredible. I've seen it happen.
No, I ain't hitting shit.
That's not good.
But I really need to get rid of this fear.
Okay.
If you're closer to me, I can try and help you with that.
19.
Oh, that does it.
19 clears it.
Oh, good. All right, I'm okay with this.
Serenity, your world is pain at the moment.
Yep. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, excellent. If I swim away from this thing, I'll probably eat an AO. Is that right?
No, because you hit the water first, and then it hit the water after you, and its splash was pushing you away. So no, you're not in range of it at the moment.
Yeah, I'll move away. Dash. No, actually, I'll move away and dodge. I can't do that. Yep, move away and dash.
Oh, dash or dodge?
I mean, I already said dash.
Okay. That's right.
It really doesn't matter anyway with my armor class.
Now, when you say away, do you just... I mean, are you like back towards the island?
the Swan May.
Okay.
Fortress.
Yeah, dodge isn't going to do anything.
And at the end of your turn, I mean, you managed to get up onto the rocky shore and pull yourself up, breathing heavily. How badly injured are you?
That's a good question. Let me bring that sheet back up. I think pretty bad. 80 out of 115. That opening breath without resistance was pretty bad.
Okay. And did you shake off the fear?
I'll do that at the end of my turn. No.
No. Riot, you're up.
What do I even have that would do anything here? Let me see.
Dragon Republic.
Yeah, I guess I cast Aura Vitality.
Okay, and who all is in range of that at the moment, at the ledge? Like, what's the radius on that?
It's 30 feet, so I think it's just me and Midniegg, unless Kelian is back now.
You and Kelian. Midniegg would be too far away from you.
Okay.
Because you're at one side of the ledge, Midniegg's at the other side, and Kelian's in the middle.
Okay. Is Midniegg hurt at all?
She's eaten a couple of the wing buffets, and she could definitely make do with the healing.
All right. Well, I've got to take care of myself first, because I'm really low.
Peace out, Riot.
Kelian in the Middle is my favorite sitcom.
I can't put two taglines on the same video. Stop saying funny things.
So I get back 11, I think. Yeah, 11. And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Midniegg is going to let loose another flurry of missiles. Oh, she doesn't have to roll a hit for that. What am I thinking?
Yeah, this is a
Oh, actually, you know what? Outside of her effective range, I believe.
It's magic missile, though.
This still has an effective range, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, it either hits or it doesn't.
Right,
That's
that's
not
why I'm saying I don't have to make
range,
a hit
though.
roll, but The dragon might be
okay.
too far away. Unless she attacks
What?
Riot, but that would just be mean.
Yeah, that'd be kind of rude.
It was the phrase effective range that threw me off. I got it now.
Yeah, no, the dragon's too far away.
Firebolt.
And Liberation, you're next.
Okay.
You are now... you've dodge rolled... Your monk thing, that negates the falling damage. That also negate you landing prone when you take falling damage?
I don't think so, but...
Let's say that if you reduce the falling damage to 0, you are not knocked prone. You tuck and
Okay.
roll when you hit the ground, and... So you're
Alright,
in front of the gates. Most of the swan may around you are dead. You just saw Riot throw up Aura of Vitality. Midnieg and Kelian are aiming down over the cliff towards the dragon.
And in order to get to the dragon, I would have to run out across the water.
You'd have to jump off the cliff.
Oh,
Remember, there's a 60-foot drop to the water from here.
yeah. I really can't do anything, so I think I'm just gonna have to double move to get up, back up the wall.
You're gonna head back to the top of the wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, positioning. With dash action, that's 100 feet of movement, so I have a little bit of movement when I get back up to the top.
You have a lot
I'm
of
gonna-
movement when you get back to the top. Wall's 40
I'm gonna-
feet tall.
Yeah, I'm gonna position myself to where I'm not to where I'm not like in line with the with anyone else at the if the dragon tries Aasimar again, he's gonna have to just target me.
Gotcha. That is going to be difficult because at the top of the wall is literally a line. Anybody standing there, the dragon can make a line.
See,
The-
I'm
but-
sorry, I'm picturing different things than what you are, I guess.
The top of the wall is like a 10-foot, maybe 10-foot wide structure where the archers can line up and fire from. There's not like a roof over the garden. The wall forms a square around the garden leading back to the towers where Destil was at the beginning of the session.
Okay, then I'm going to stop right there at the top of the wall. Then,
Okay.
with whoever else might be still alive up there.
And when you hoist yourself back up, I mean, you see the blackened and charred stone making up the wall. It looked fine last time you were here.
Yeah, and that was about 6 seconds ago. Anyway, that's gonna end my turn. No key point. No, not key point. Never mind.
Not
That's
key
the end
point
of my
dodge.
Yeah, not key point dodge.
Serenity.
Mhm.
You see the shape of the dragon in the water descend deeper into the lake and is circling around the other side of the island. And it does not reemerge right away.
Okay.
Mahogany, you're there as well, so you see the same thing. And it's now
How far
Mahogany's
am I
turn.
from the? Okay.
All right, so it's down in the lake now.
Yeah, it dropped down into the lake, and it seems like it dove a little deeper, and it's swimming around clockwise around the island.
I'm gonna look around. Is there somewhere that it looks like when it comes out of the lake after doing that clockwise turn,
Mhm.
it's gonna be able to like hit a bunch of people in a line?
When it breaks the water from here, it's got to fly about 100 feet up in the air to get to the curtain, or get over the curtain wall.
Yeah.
And it could pretty much do that anywhere and attack the interior of the temple.
Okay, I'm gonna head over to the interior of the temple then,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to get some people out of there.
And how are you doing this as a air elemental?
I can lift and move people short distances. I've done that before.
Make a... Let me think about this. Because you are going to be doing something very abrupt and seemingly violent against unwilling and panicked Swanmay women.
Oh, if they shoot at me, that's fine. I figure I can take the shots.
They're not going to shoot at you. Make a persuasion check. Make it at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Use your wisdom instead of your charisma.
Oh, okay. In that case, maybe I do have a shot here. That's not too bad. 11.
11?
Yeah.
So you're rushing back. How much movement do you have in one turn?
90. Well, 180 if I'm dashing.
Okay. If you dash, you can get up the side of the cliff, in through the gates, and into the common area on this turn, and the next turn you can ferret people out.
Sounds good.
And as you sweep into the common area, you see Zook sitting at a table just inside the doors, drinking a mug of ale.
Yeah,
And-
I'm gonna yell out at them. I said, "Your grandson told me you weren't a dick. I knew it. You're all dicks."
But you see now,
I think that's got to be the tagline. I'm sorry.
that's an obscenity. I can't make it an obscenity, the tagline. Come on, there's standards. You see now, though, he's resting his head in one hand, and you see he's nursing a wound there that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
As you sweep in and inform him that he's a dick.
We're all nursing wounds, okay?
Those of you still watching the dragon, you finally see its form disappear into the depths of the lake. And that brings us to Kelian.
Gee, great.
I'm sorry, did that ruin your plan?
But it's all right. I'm gonna lie on my stomach, peer over that cliff, and hold my action. I'm gonna shoot as soon as I see it.
Okay. Right now, the only movement you see down there is Serenity in the form of one of these Swanmay Rangers. With,
Right.
what, 20 hit points left?
30, I think.
30?
25. We're both wrong.
Serenity, what's good with you?
Spending my action to... Do I have to climb up the wall at this point?
No, you can take the carved stairway up.
I wasn't sure if that went with the bridge. So yeah, dash up the stairs. How far does that get me? With 40
almost
feet of movement.
Not quite to the top, but almost to the top.
Okay.
Riot, what's your next move?
Was I watching the dragon move around?
I mean, you saw it splash down into the water, and then eventually
I
you
see
saw,
what okay.
you saw
I saw
where
which
it
way-
went, but then it disappeared down into the depths, and you lost track of it.
Right. Okay. How far... So, about this island, how much space is there between the walls of the compound, the curtain wall, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and the cliff leading down?
The only place where there is space is right outside the front, in front of the gates. There's
so
maybe a
otherwise
50-foot square, and other than that, the curtain walls meet the cliffs all the way around.
All right. In that case, the first thing Riot does is toss Midnieg some healing.
Okay.
So Midnieg can take... Oh, I could remember. 10 points of healing.
Okay.
Then she's going to walk into the common area
Okay.
and get ready to receive the dragon by casting Polymorph on herself and turning into a Tyrannosaurus.
Now, where did Riot see a Tyrannosaurus?
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, this is not a wild shape thing.
Right.
He has to have seen something like that before.
But Riot still has to know of the existence of dinosaurs, and I'm wondering, is there a cool story there?
Oh, yeah. This is like kind of like sea lore, basically. So what's actually happening? I mean, I'm using the stat block of a Tyrannosaurus, right?
Sure.
Right.
What's actually happening is Riot is turning into Godzilla, the beast that came from the sea.
Checks out.
So she's been reading up on sea creatures, which is why she turned Liberation into a plesiosaur, and now she's heard about this giant dragon lizard terrible fiend thing that like emerged from the depths of the sea. It's like, oh cool, that's like my brother.
More and more Osprum's lapdog every day.
Yeah.
Would you consider terrible things that come from the sea? That's like your brother? That's like
Have you seen
Riot?
Yeah. Riot's already got gray skin and sharp teeth.
Oh, I thought Riot just considered herself a terrible thing that came from the sea.
Yeah.
Midnieg starts snapping orders at some of the Swanmei standing around to get the injured inside and get ready to receive the dragon again. But she stays over by the ledge, waiting for Serenity to finish her climb. At this point, we're going to come off of the initiative order with the understanding that we can spontaneously re-enter it at any time. So what happens next?
Alright, so I'm helping shift out the non-combatants out of the line of fire, and getting the wounded out of the way too. And since at least these are the one race in the fucking multiverse that can understand me at the moment, I'll be trying to calm them down as well. Like, don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Hey, what was that persuasion check you made?
That was a 11.
Okay.
If there's anybody at death's door, I want to use the cantrip Spare the Dying to try and keep them dying.
And
Okay.
Riot will...
Right, well, what?
I'll help you out with that, McDohl. Like, if I spot someone who's about to go down, I'll shoot up a call for you.
There are lots of Swanmei who have sustained grievous injuries that will die without that cantrip.
Yeah, so I'm basically being his spotter.
Okay.
Riot is going to spend as much of the rest of her aura that's still up, I believe. Oh no, it's not up because she just used polymorph. Yeah.
Serenity.
Yep.
Midnieg helps you up, hoists you up off the last few stairs, and
this remind me, Nick. I'm disguised with seeming, right?
Yes.
So she'll know as soon as the body and the image don't match that I'm not Jessica.
okay.
I guess, yeah.
Because it's just visual.
And
Sorry.
Drops you.
she looks like she's about to ask why you've taken the form of the ranger, but there are more important things to hand. She does ask Serenity her opinion about how best to kind of hole up inside of the temple for when the dragon comes back.
The acid burnt through the stone of the bridge.
Well, the bridge wasn't stone. The bridge was a rope bridge leading across the gorge.
Okay.
So the acid cleaved it in half. It has left deep black scars all along the stone wherever the acid touched it. It didn't destroy any part of the wall, but a concentrated effort, you think the dragon might be able to breach the wall that way.
Gets them to the lake, under the lake. It's probably the most secure place here. Unless the dragon can change form, there's no way it can get in through the narrow place Mahogany was looking at. And worst case scenario, maybe we find a way to open that gate if we need to evacuate.
Okay.
Are they exposed when they go down to that, or is there tunnels within the sanctuary itself?
Heading down to the lake under the lake, you mean? They wouldn't be exposed unless the dragon made its way up the tunnel you guys used to exit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's.
Other than that, that entire area is underground.
Yeah, that's Serenity's suggestion then.
Okay. The three rangers are organizing some of these efforts as well. The surprise attack by this dragon caught them totally unawares, and they've taken stock of their casualties, and they're starting to get organized, and they're joining in with that effort to get people down into the sanctuary under the lake.
Where's Zook?
Zook is inside, finishing his ale.
Well, I guess it's up to Kelian to start a fight with Zook.
Riot's gonna stay out here waiting for the dragon to show up again.
Patrolling. Okay. How long does your polymorph last? It's like 8 hours?
An hour.
An hour. Okay. So what do you say to Zook?
What's your story? Why are we cleaning up your mess?
And he takes the last draft from his mug, sets it on the table, fishes around. He's wearing, underneath his cloak, this leather armor that's filled with pockets. He reaches into one of them and he pulls out a needle and thread. He hands it to you. And he winces when he reaches up and pulls his big mat of hair aside and says, "Would you mind stitching this up while you berate me?"
Are you for real?
He says, "No, I'm a gnome."
Our magic little man.
Kelian is so taken back by the audacity of it all. He shrugs and agrees.
Okay. Make a healing check. Make this. Are you going to literally stitch up the wound, or are you going to do something else to heal him? If you're stitching up the wound, it's going to be dexterity medicine.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all I can do.
Okay. Go
None
ahead.
of my racial abilities actually do healing, so
Go ahead and make that check. You're not trained in medicine, are you?
no.
No.
He's
But
an
I'm good at
angel.
But I'm good at dexterity. 22.
And as you're stitching the wound, he tells you that he's glad that there were defenders on the island who can fight valiantly in his stead. He's had a devil of a morning.
Kelian rolls his eyes. The idea of stout defending. We've been looking for you, you know.
He asks what you mean.
Jesus, it's been, what, 2 months, 3 months?
You guys have been walking around the forest for a better part of a month at this point.
It's been.
Yeah, but I mean, the last session we were in,
Oh,
Blue Worm.
been a long time.
Yeah. Kelian explains that yeah, he'll tell the whole story. They come from Sigil. They're the player, or yeah, we're the players, I think they're calling us.
Okay.
That we've met the guy in that place who goes by Khalil.
So while
And
Kelian's bringing Zook up to speed, what is everybody else
Yeah.
doing? Riot, you're patrolling. Serenity, you're organizing the efforts to get people down into the dungeons.
I'm doing the same and tending to the wounded.
Liberation's tending to the wounded, and Mahogany, you're also ushering people downstairs, right?
Yep.
Okay. When you tell Zook about your meetings with Khalil, Daniel, and Eric, you can see that he's intrigued by the story. And he tells you that he's impressed. You know, he feels honored that you came all this way looking for little old him.
well, at this point, this is the only thread left to pull, so every one of your friends seems very unhelpful.
And he nods and he says, "Yes, I've noticed that of late as well."
you do me a favor? Kelian, as you're saying this is the only thread left to pull, are you literally pulling on the last thread in his scalp? I want to make sure I'm picturing the scene properly.
Yes, absolutely. I don't even remember why we were hunting for Zook. I'm not gonna lie. It was so like
Story of my life, man.
I think we were trying to chase down the players because
well, no, we're the players.
that we're trying to chase down the others because they were because Daniel wanted us for something. Wanted us to do that for something. I don't remember.
Right, remembers, but she's a Tyrannosaurus right now.
Oh, right. We're supposed to get Terran. That's right. We're trying to find... Daniel wants us to find Terran, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Eric was unwilling to help, but
Yeah.
one of Eric's acolytes, who was a distant relative of Zook, told you that Zook would
I
be willing to
remembered
help.
something. I remembered something.
You got there all on your own, without any help
Yeah.
from the Tyrannosaurus.
That's the name of my new children's book that I'm releasing, actually, without any help from the Tyrannosaurus.
Zook, as you kind of reach the end of the story, he kind of interrupts the end of it as you're talking about, we're trying to go after Terran, and he gets about that far, and he starts waving his hand and interrupts and says, enough about that. What do you suggest we do about this dragon?
So, funny thing about that. What are we going to do about this dragon? Why is this a we thing?
Well, he says that he has been sneaking into the dragon's lair for years, siphoning gold away a handful at a time. On this most recent visit, the dragon and his underlings were on much higher alert than usual. Something about a froghemoth being murdered down in the swamps, and they're actively seeking the adventurers who slayed it.
That's weird.
One of the, what was it? One of the half-dragon children fled with very vivid physical descriptions.
Of 4 of the members.
Ah. Yes.
And he says,
There.
gods only know who tracked you to this island. What
Yes.
pains you were taken to not being watched clearly were not sufficient.
Right. Okay. Fair.
Is it, though?
And then he says,
Finally,
and
And it's the ambulance is here to take Zook. Sorry.
we can all place blame later. The fact is now we're all here together, and this dragon is very ancient and very angry. And I have quite a lot of its gold.
Well, it sounds like to me that we are all in this together, then. And
And
he
we have
points
our
at the two. He points at himself, and then Zook, and then back at himself, and then at Zook again.
Most of the rest of the
point.
Most of the
That-
rest of the comments at this point have been depleted. You guys are pretty much the only people left in the room.
Yes, but none of this. I'm gonna go off and drink ale now, while the rest of the party tries to down an ancient black dragon.
And he tilts his head to one side, and he kind of motions to his own neck, and he says, you saw the wound that the dragon had already suffered.
Yes.
He said, I pulled
And
my
that's
weight,
great.
and I was entitled to a drink. I'd take a nap if we had time.
And I launched a bolt into its side too. The job isn't done.
And he looks down at your crossbow, and then back up to you, and he nods, and he says, yes, that's very cute.
Is he dissing my crossbow? Is he calling my crossbow tiny?
Like, he's packing a longbow, which is taller than him.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, the crossbow is probably also taller than he is.
Yeah, I mean, but still probably shorter than a short bow Kelian will be carrying.
He hops off the chair that he's sitting on, to his feet, which means he's shorter now. And he looks in remarkably good spirits. And he tells you that today is a great day for the both of you. Because either you will die a glorious death, worthy of the Swan May songs for generations to come, or the two of you will slay the scourge of the swamps together and be heralded as heroes.
I have no interest in either. We should just kill the thing. No interest in being a hero. No interest in dying. We'll just kill it. But right now, it's underwater. So, I imagine trying to heal itself somehow. We should probably stop it from doing that.
Having gotten... so let me think. Who's still left up top? Riot, you're patrolling around the gardens, watching the skies. There is a skeleton crew of Swan May spotters up on the wall. 5 or 6 of them. Everybody else has been ushered down into the dungeons. Except for an elite group of Swan May defenders who were sent to the Allmother's Towers instead. The rest of you down in the dungeons, down through the crypts, how much of this dungeon do you repurpose for the Swan May?
As soon as we're down there, starting to ask the first Swan May, does anyone know how to open this gate? And she points to the passage that has the gate to, is it Arborea?
To Arborea?
I don't remember where the gate leads
It's
to. I think
Arborea.
it's Arborea. Yeah.
No, I don't think it.
Give me 1 second.
Maybe it was. Oh yeah, that gate. Yeah, you're right.
More of a portal, really.
We have to load something else up here. There we go. I'll just delete all these so we can actually see where we are.
It's the abyss.
When you start mentioning the gate to Arborea that you noticed, the Swan May don't know what you're talking about. They don't know that there's a portal here.
Okay.
Give me half a second to refresh my memory about this dungeon. Oh, one of the, because you have your little most recent text files open that I use to open text files, and one of them I was looking at recently was the list of rooms that Zook remembered in Baba Yaga's hut, which notably did not include the treasury.
Yeah.
Good memories.
That's how this campaign ends, is we're going to find that treasury.
But yeah, the Swan May don't know about the portal leading to Arborea in these dungeons. The use of that portal probably just predates their tenure here.
Okay. Is there anything I can do with Portal Sense to potentially find it, or I still need the key, basically?
You would need the key. Give me 1 second to refresh my memory on these notes. This is not the direction I expected this to go, but I like where this might be going.
Hell. The abyss.
No, that's a waterfall. We're not there.
Yeah.
You think Brick has only put in one portal to the abyss? Something Brick and I know.
There are many portals to the abyss. One might say an infinite number. Serenity.
He's pretty sure. You remember Serenity? telling
Make
him.
a wisdom check at disadvantage.
Nick, how long does that die stay around?
A minute, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be gone by now.
I'm gonna go ahead and belief point that.
Okay.
So the worst was a 12 on that, and a... Wait, do you roll a third die when you have disadvantage and you re-roll?
You roll a third die, and then you pick which of the 3 you want.
Okay, so I had a 12 and a 7. Oh, you pick any of the 3?
You pick any of the 3 you want. You don't have to
right
keep
now,
the
the
new
best
die.
case is a 12. Yeah, so it's a 12.
A 12?
So I shouldn't roll 2 more. Yep. So it'd be a 13 on my wisdom check.
Looking at the position of the portal, and you're not sure how strongly the correlation works because you're familiar with portals used in Sigil, and you're very far away from who knows how these Prime people do it. But a portal in a place like this would be something very deliberate, something that was used often, which tells you that the portal key would be something common amongst the elves that once lived here. That's as far as you get trying to puzzle it out on your own.
Is there any... Can you describe these statues to me in a little bit more detail again?
Sure.
Or these pillars.
The 4 statues once depicted elven warriors, but they've been destroyed. So the statues are kind of ruined, especially the faces and heads. There were names carved into the base of each statue, but these have been very deliberately stricken as well. So they're unidentifiable now.
Was this vandalism recent when the hags were here, or do any of these one may remember anything about these from long ago?
No, this is very ancient damage. This
Okay.
The history of this place is that the elves were here, mind flayers took up residence, the dwarves came out, cleared out the mind flayers, they left a placard here that just reads, "These halls are clean, here sign, Sons of Groudmook." And then the Swan may have only been here for the past 70 or 80 years or so.
Does anyone have anything of elven make or fashion? And if so, give it to me, and I'm just going to start waving it in front of this door.
Oh, the last thing I'll give you, because you did discover it during your dungeon hack, the elven runes on the wall, which Dathlu translated for you, read, Blessed is he of mortal blood and flaxen hair, who bewitched Our Lady's heart with kindness and song. Restful be his sleep, and upon his wake shall he join our reverie on the fields of Arvindor.
Is there anyone among the Swan may I have with me who can recite that?
Some of them can read the elven runes.
I'll ask them to stand in front of the door and say each word loudly and clearly facing it.
And they do, and the portal does not activate. Who else is down in this room that has other ideas? Everybody's down here right now except for Kelian, Zook, and Riot.
Flaxen hair, huh? Anybody fit that description?
Many of the Swan may have flaxen hair, but none of them are male.
Something common among the elves here. A dick.
Darn. Well, that goes there kills my idea. No, not the idea you were thinking of.
I wasn't thinking of anything. Kelian, what's your next move upstairs? Were you going to aid Riot in the patrol, or were you coming back down to the dungeon, or did you have some other idea?
No. Probably patrol with Riot, because that dragon probably coming back. So.
Okay.
I think if we bring the Swan May through to some crazy elf forest, they'll probably just all die.
Why do you think that?
Because they're not really planeswalkers. They're not really trained for this. I think being deep underneath the lake is probably a better place for them anyway.
Is that their more perfect state of being? Is Mahogany back in Genasi form at this point?
Has it been an hour?
No.
Then no.
Okay.
Basically, whenever he gets bored, he's still enjoying the fact that the Swan May can talk to him. That's about it.
Mahogany, do you have any ideas for opening this gate? And I'll translate through a Swan May.
What do elves like? Bows?
Swords?
I know about
That gnome had a bow. You can try that one out.
Mahogany, make that same wisdom check.
Alright.
Make it at disadvantage.
Okay.
Wouldn't he make it a disadvantage anyway? Doesn't he still want to destroy?
No, he's had a long rest since then.
Ah, okay.
That's a 10.
A 10? Then you just...
Yeah.
You don't know any more than Serenity does.
Yeah.
Some of the Swan May at this point have started going back into the depths of the dungeon to make sure that it's clear.
I'll just say to the Swan Maid, were there any like tapestries left over from the elves, showing them holding anything upstairs?
No, nothing like that.
I'll shrug.
The Swan May set to work barricading this tunnel. That's what they're busying themselves with.
Also, since there's no sound of combat from above, I'm gonna just sit down and meditate.
Okay.
And if we get an hour, I'll take a short rest and spend all of my hit dice, basically.
No, nobody will get a short rest, believe me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I really hope we don't get an hour.
Serenity doesn't know that. For all she knows, the dragon wants to spend hit dice.
I'll say to Serenity, I've got something elvish. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Never mind. Back up.
Disregard.
Yeah.
Trying to think of something.
All I've got in the solutions bag is a bunch of weapons and armor. I mean, I do have some drow armor, but I don't think that's the flavor of elf you're looking for.
What flavor of elf are you looking for?
What's your flavor?
Why didn't this load properly?
Pair
I
on.
wonder?
Maybe
Oh,
you
there we
loaded the
go.
wrong one.
Oh, I loaded the autosave. That's fine. We can just delete some of these up here. To show the lake that you guys are at. Riot.
Mhm.
We did lose our initiative order, though.
I was on a 7. Zook was on a 40. The dragon was on a 17.
I was on
Jermaine
an
was
18.
On an 18.
Kelian was on a 12.
Okay, hold on.
Mindy
Hold
was
on.
5.
We're going to be
13.
repeating all of that. Zook was on 400. Alright, Riot.
That's weird because he didn't take any fucking initiative in that fight.
Riot.
7.
Kelian.
12.
Is a 12. And Liberation.
Hey.
18.
Where are you typing this into?
In notepad.exe.
Oh,
Serenity.
13. Yeah, but he was really first in line for that L.
Yeah.
And Mahogany.
I don't remember. I was right after the dragon.
You were right after the dragon, okay. That's right, because the dragon kept taking its legendary action after your turn. Okay. Riot and or Kelian, do either of you speak Draconic?
Nope.
No. You hear one of the Swan May from the wall call out, the one over on the eastern wall.
Mhm.
It says, "It's coming back." And you see her and the other callers on the wall immediately start shifting into their swan forms.
Right, I'll go over there. See
Stomp
where they're
over the
pointing.
wall.
Yeah.
By the time you get over to the wall, what about Kelian? Is Kelian marching with her?
Yeah.
Oh, Midnieg is with you as well.
Mindig was on a 5, I remember.
She was last, that's what's important.
Have we got any sign of that down in the catacombs?
No, not yet.
Okay.
The dragon appears up behind the wall. We're going to start the initiative order on the dragon, who is going to speak a threat. And it's speaking in Draconic. And looking at the people in the courtyard. And it sees Zook standing there outside the gates with Kelian. And Zook reaches back and grabs an arrow from his quiver. But the dragon hasn't made a hostile move yet. Mahogany and Serenity, you guys are downstairs trying to figure out Elvish riddles. Riot, you're a Tyrannosaurus. The dragon is about 40 feet in the air above you.
In the air above me? Okay.
Yeah, it has not yet come over the wall. It's just appeared up from behind the wall.
Okay. I have a 10-foot reach in my bite. Can I reach over the wall with my head?
Can you reach over the wall? No, because you're not 40 feet tall.
I'm huge.
You're huge?
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex is a huge beast.
How tall was a Tyrannosaurus Rex then?
I'm going to ask Google. Actually, I'm going to ask Jeeves.
Jeeves?
How is
No.
Jeeves still alive?
Didn't he get killed by his enemy?
All I know for sure about Jeeves is that he prefers the term jovial.
Wow, I tried to go to AskJeeves.com and it says, your connection is not private. Attackers might be trying to steal your information.
Nice.
Jeeves is KGB, who knew?
Yo, I went to Wikipedia. It says 40 feet.
Yeah, I'll let you bite this dragon if you want.
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves for kids? Sorry.
Swallow the dragon.
That's not going to do it.
So you bite at the dragon.
Mhm.
Do you only get the one attack?
Yeah, I have a multi-attack, but the other one's my tail.
Ah, yes,
And
yes.
that's a non-starter.
And I guess you don't
you're
get claw attacks. You got those stubby little...
Right.
I can't even hold a sandwich.
I like the picture of the T-Rex that says, I love you this much. And he's holding his arms out.
And Midnieg is going to let loose some magic missiles.
Okay, so let me clarify. I said it was 40 feet tall. It says 40 feet long, and I was like, that's probably the same thing, right? It stood on 2 feet. But no, I forgot that a T-Rex is like a stubby little boy who just spreads out wide.
Per the rules, he's a 25 by 25 by 25 foot cube, so he could actually only bite something 35 feet away, but...
I'm going to let him bite the dragon anyway, because it amuses me to do so.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me.
I just wanted to clarify that I looked at this picture of a T-Rex, and I was like, oh, wait.
Zook trains its bow on the dragon and starts stepping warily out into the garden and replies to it in Draconic. And doesn't lose a shot. Okay, life's about to get bad for Riot. Nobody here has to make a roll against Frightful Presence. Everybody's already out of that. The bite misses.
Oh, you roll a 1?
Roll a
Okay.
1.
Get
2
wrecked.
claws. How much health do you have as a Tyrannosaurus?
Right now, I have 136.
Okay. 13 points of slashing damage from the first claw. 15 points from the second claw.
Okay, so that's 28 all told.
And 2 DC 10 con saves.
Kelian, you're standing there.
Kelian asks, do you speak common?
You asked the dragon that?
Yeah.
And it responds by swiping at Riot with its tail.
There's no need for that. It's a simple question.
Riot, a 19 will hit.
Mm-hmm.
16 bludgeoning damage from the dragon's tail.
Kelian will raise his crossbow then, but looks at Zook and says, well, what does it want?
Riot, your turn.
Okay. Rick, do you mind pasting that initiative order into...
I can, it's on a separate computer.
Oh, separate. Okay. All right, let's try another bite.
Okay.
Let's hope I roll better than the 2 this time. How's a 22 do?
22 hits.
Nice.
Believe it or not.
Then it is grappled and restrained, and I get to make a bunch of damage against it. Where's my D12s at?
Well,
Tyrannosaurus is hugging a dragon.
We
It's
love each
restrained
other
with its mouth.
very much.
he
These are
loves
bad
you
rolls.
this much.
That is 28 damage against it.
You actually... You can't grapple the target, because he's gargantuan.
Oh, he's going to. Okay.
You can definitely damage him with the
Oh,
bite.
yeah. If it's a medium or small creature. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
I was considering waiving that and just leave you dangling from the dragon next time it flew away. But yeah, how much damage was that?
28.
28. That's not bad.
No. Tyrannosaurus right. Zillas do all right for themselves.
Who in the courtyard still... Riot just took a bunch of damage. Yeah, give me 1 second. You guys down in the dungeons, as you're trying to puzzle out, maybe we can get this portal open and get through, an out-of-breath Swanmay appears at the entrance and says, "The thing is returned. What do we do?"
Liberation gives a world-weary sigh and just says, "Well, I'm going back up there."
Stay behind the barricade. Does any of you have any healing before we go?
Mahogany's already gone.
Okay. You're asking if the Swanmays have any healers?
Yeah, if there's any. There are a lot of druids. Maybe I could get a little healing before I
They
run back
do.
up there.
A lot of them are trained in medicine. A lot of the Swanmay who were not already beyond hope have been saved thanks to...
Which is why I didn't ask
Liberation
immediately. I meant for me.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
No, their efforts are focused on saving their own.
Okay.
I'm not giving you free healing. That wouldn't be nice. Those of you up top, however, now that I've finally looked the spell up, Riot, Kelian, Zook, and Midnieg can take 8 hit points from Midnieg's Aura of Vitality. Those of you who are leaving the dungeons and heading topside, at the end of your next turn, assuming that you're dashing up, you will arrive there. Except for if Liberation uses a key point, he can get there a little earlier.
Well, I mean, I moved 90 feet.
Right, but you're grappled and restrained by being underground. So, Liberation, if you spend a key point, we're going to just abstract this a little bit, because I'm not going to actually measure out every step from here to there. If you spend a key point, I will let you take an action on the end of your next turn. Mahogany, I'll let you take one anyway. Serenity, you're running. So unless Serenity has a way to dash twice, she will not be able to act this next turn.
No, just
Okay.
40 feet of movement.
Zook tells Kelian, says, and he's whispering. And he says, it's negotiating in its own way. It's saying that if I give myself up, it might let the wall stand. But as it's saying that, it seems like it's taking big bites out of your friend.
Yeah, fuck this.
Fuck dragons.
And then he looses a couple of arrows.
Let it never be said that Kelian doesn't try to play nice.
I'll say that all I want.
What's the range on your bite, Riot? Is it 10
10
feet?
feet.
10 feet, okay. So, Riot, you do not count as being within 5 feet for purposes of sneak attack.
Yeah.
Zook actually misses both shots.
So it doesn't matter.
Both arrows go wide. Liberation, you arrive exhausted, out of breath, at the gates, looking out into the garden. And you can take one action at the doorway.
Dodge.
Just dodge there in the doorway? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Dragon is going to breath weapon.
Ah.
So, Riot and Zook, dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I'm not sure I can actually make this. Dragon form.
Even with a 20?
Well, I didn't roll a 20.
No?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I got like a 13. No. a 12.
Zook is fine. You don't have to worry about Zook. He's got evasion. He was okay. He rolls out of the way. And this breath weapon, by the way, is a straight line. It's not a big-ass cone. It can only get 2 of you at most, unless you're all lined up. Riot, 74 points of acid damage.
Ooh.
Yikes.
You down? Oh, no,
not
you're
down.
a T-Rex.
I'm not down.
He's polymorphed.
Good.
But don't you have to make concentration checks on that damage?
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right, I do.
He has to make a DC 38 concentration check.
And this is for polymorph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if you're still a T-Rex at the end of this.
All right.
Try to roll a 38.
Yeah,
That's a 7.
I did.
No.
That's a 7.
Yep.
So you drop out of T-Rex form.
hmm
Back into
But it's
your...
after you took the damage.
Yeah, that's true.
And Mahogany, you arrive, and you can make one action at the gate.
At the gate?
Yeah.
How far away is the dragon?
It's too far for melee range because it's up above the
No,
wall.
that's what I know. I'm trying to. Can I 90 foot my way? I'm getting at that dragon.
So you're gonna dash to the dragon? Yeah, you can use your dash and end your turn
Basically,
right at the
like
dragon.
you guys just see like a whoosh of like crappy dust from inside that crypt just swirls through the door, immediately notices the dragon, and then just swoops right up next to it.
And Serenity, using your action this turn, gets you to the gate, standing next to Liberation, who's dancing in place. He's doing a river dance.
How far is the dragon from here?
40 or 50 feet, because the dragon's still up towards the top of the curtain wall from you.
Just go action trance and throw 2 magical coral javelins at it.
You don't have an action. You don't have the movement the other 2 did.
Oh, okay. That took my action. Got you.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see this Serenity's turn then.
Kelian. Actually, I know. Black Dragon's going to take legendary action before Kelian moves.
Okay. Fine. I'm an ancient black dragon. I'll do what I want. Where?
He will. Thank you.
Oh, I'm legendary.
Mahogany, what's your AC?
15 is the number.
15 is the number. I beat 15 by quite a bit.
Did you beat it by? Did you lap it?
Did I lap it? I don't know that I quite lapped it.
Did you get a 30?
I did roll max damage on this tail swipe, though. So 24 bludgeoning damage, Mahogany,
All right.
as the dragon tries to swipe you out of the air. Everybody standing within 30 feet of the door. So everybody here, except for Mahogany, you'd be out of range because you're way up at the wall. Can have 6 more points of healing from Midnieg's aura.
Okay.
Let's do one more round, real quick. Go through the initiative order one more time, back down to Midnieg, and then we'll take our break for the day. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
We kill it, we all level.
Zook asks loudly, in common, whether any of you are able to pin this thing down to prevent it from flying away.
Riot shakes her head. No.
Look at Serenity.
Choke.
Not unless you have a chain heavy enough to hold it down.
And then he shrugs and says, Lolo Pilo Luluihe, and you see him no more.
Really?
Liberation.
Oh, so much for that.
Really?
All right.
Are you sure that was it? You sure that was the correct indentation? Maybe he forgot.
I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it my turn?
You're on 12.
Yeah, you said the black dragon goes, and then I was next, but you're like, no, wait. He's going to take a legendary action.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
I
now
forgot to come
it's-
back to you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sick of this dragon.
How you do with the gnome? Though?
Gun him.
Better or worse than the underwater dragon in Osprum's place?
14.
14 doesn't do it. Moving or staying put?
Staying put.
And Riot, I think I skipped you
Going
as well.
to the bathroom.
Yeah, but all right, one produce flame, which it's only a range of 30 feet. Some of that might not hit.
I'll give it to you if you're standing at the base of the wall.
Yeah, which is where I was. And then, like, she sings a disgusted song of inspiration to Kelian.
So you're giving Kelian Bardic Inspiration?
He's got a D8.
Liberation.
All right. I'm trying to think here. What else can I do here? If I can land a hit on it.
You can.
Can you?
Maybe.
Well, I'm just wondering, was there a second part of that? What's your plan once you hit it?
I'm just reading up on a class feature.
We'll all wait quietly for you.
Yeah, okay. All right. Here we go. Hop up the wall.
Well,
And
run up the wall.
yeah. And let's punch this thing right in the snout.
In the snout?
Yeah.
All right.
Uh, 16 ain't gonna do it.
No.
Extra attack.
Okay.
God.
Fucking everything. Key point dodge.
Key point dodge. So you're standing up on the wall now?
Yeah.
Okay. Key point dodge. The dragon will oblige you. We're going to start with Mahogany.
Yeah.
27.
Yeah, that... Mm-hmm.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
This is piercing damage from the bite.
Okay.
15 points.
Alright.
This
Sounds
is-
good, thanks.
Acid damage from the bite.
Oh, that's not so good.
10 points.
Alright.
I'm back.
Liberation. I'm going to give you both claws.
Okay. Roll a disadvantage.
Am doing it, yes. The first one's going to hit an AC of 30. I'm assuming that hits.
You
For
laughed my AC.
lowest possible damage is 10 on the first claw.
Cool.
Second claw hits AC 22.
Yep.
For 15 slashing damage on the second claw.
Okay. Still up. Still looking per hail-ish.
Hail-ish. You
Yeah.
two are both out of the range of the Aura of Vitality at this point. Mahogany, let's go with
Yeah.
you.
I'm doing alright. I think I'm just gonna stick next to this, this dragon boy. Because that's been working out pretty well.
Okay.
And, so, there's an action in D&D that I haven't used this entire campaign,
Uh-oh.
because it's never really been super useful, but I don't 100% understand it.
Okay.
You can do something on your turn to aid another player, right?
The help action. What you can do is if you're within 5 feet of a monster, which you are, you can say you're using the help action, and that will give advantage to another player.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Who's
do that to
To who?
Kelian. I'm gonna just like swipe myself over this dragon's eyes to bug it
Okay.
and distract it so that Kelian has advantage on his next shot.
Very good.
And I'm also gonna heal myself before my turn ends. Be very clear about that. I really need that healing.
Okay.
You've been hitting me pretty hard.
I'm going to hit you one more time here.
Burn them
Okay.
spell slots.
Burn them spell slots.
Does a 29 hit?
Yeah, and it's also the amount of damage I've taken so far.
Take 15 more from the tail swipe.
15
that-
what, though?
15 bludgeoning.
Okay.
That's after your healing goes off.
Okay, got it.
Serenity. Is that seeming still up?
It lasts like 8 hours. doesn't it?
It lasts 8 hours, and I have to use an action to dismiss it.
Okay. And that hasn't happened yet. Okay.
I was patrolling, and I could have done it then, but I forgot about it until Serenity came back.
Did you forget, or was it just amusing to not do it?
I mean, yes.
At any
I don't
rate,
have
how
to
high
answer
up in the air is this dragon right now?
The dragon is at the top of the wall, so 40 feet above you.
But there's a wall I could climb to that I would be able to stand and attack it?
You don't have a climb speed, do you?
No, but I have 40 feet of movement, and I can make a running jump to start.
Yeah, you can climb up the wall this turn.
Okay. But I have, I'm still feared, right? How long does that last?
No, it's been longer than 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
it
only a
lasts
minute.
Excellent.
And then you're immune to it for 24 hours.
Action trance, scramble up the wall, and let's take some reckless attacks.
Okay, and you're swinging at the thing's feet and tail.
Because hit points are the only thing that are going to keep me alive right now. Where's this? First attack. Hits on a class of 23.
That does it.
Second attack. I'm assuming the first one won't kill it. Second attack hits armor class of 24.
Okay, both of those hit. You can just give me the grand total damage. I think my heater kicked back on and it's making that awful buzzing again.
Yeah, I can hear a little bit, but it's
30
not bad.
damage.
How much? 30?
30 total.
Okay.
And that's the end of Serenity's turn.
Kelian, you are the beneficiary of the help action. You have advantage on this roll.
Do
You
it
also
to
have,
it.
You also have a D8.
Yeah, D8 of Bardic
So
Inspiration.
if you fuck this one up, there's nothing you can do.
You have advantage. I didn't see the second die.
Wow.
What AC did that 8 hit? Oh, I see.
Are you muted?
Sorry, I turned my mic off. That is a 20. It does a 20 hit.
20 does not hit.
Oh my god.
Kim, we tried, man.
The bolt goes wide. Riot, are you laughing in character?
I don't. Yeah, she doesn't see what else to do at this point. Like, as far as we're concerned, we're all about to die here.
Is that fitting to her?
Yeah, we may as well go out whiffing.
And what's her next move?
Try again. How many more Barbarian inspirations you got?
Let's see. I'm gonna put up an aura.
Or a vitality?
Yep,
Okay.
that's
so
for my action.
have 2 of these up. This will get everybody down at the ground, but nobody up on the wall. Unless you climb the wall.
Yeah. Who's hurt right now? That within range of me.
Midniag's wounds are mostly healed at this point.
Mhm.
You can't see Zook anymore. I think Serenity is the most injured out of everybody.
Okay,
But
sorry.
she's on
Sorry.
the wall.
Oh, is she on the wall? Okay.
Yeah.
So she's not within range. Can I get higher up on the wall within range of her?
You can climb it, but if you end your turn on the wall, I'm going to have you make a check to see if you're able to climb it the rest of the way. If you can climb the entire 40-foot wall in one turn...
Yeah, I definitely can't do that, but I'm going to try and climb at least high enough to get Serenity within this.
Okay. What I'll do then is just make a strength check. See if you can hold your position on the wall and try to get the peoples at the top. The Van Peebles. That was almost hilarious.
Yeah.
18.
Okay, so those of you at the top of the wall can take the benefit of this aura since Riot's clinging to the stone.
Yeah. So Serenity.
Nice.
Yep.
Let's have. Oh, cool.
Nice.
A mighty 8 healing.
Yep.
I mean, that +5 is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And 8 healing for Serenity is basically 16.
Right.
And those of you at still on the ground, including Riot, who's only partway up the wall, can take another 7 from Midniag.
Cool.
So we're going to take a break now. Let's take a 15-minute break. We'll reconvene at 4:55. And
Okay.
you guys might want to just think about what your next character is going to be. Just
Oh, I've already got mine.
academically, everybody's I'm about to see
It
5.
would be pretty hard for Mahogany to die here.
Is that a challenge,
I've had a-
sir?
Backup.
No,
character
I'm saying
as well,
that
so-
like they might all die, but if I cowardice hard enough,
I don't know. I mean, dragons can fly pretty fast. I know, probably not as fast as air elementals.
I
though.
think it'll probably come down to whether he can use legendary actions out of battle to hunt me down.
I got to put Elizabeth on screen.
But you've
huh?
already got ferocity, so you're fine.